Comparative adjectives are a pretty simple grammar pattern. The most difficult part, or the most challenging part, is just going to be learning which ones are irregular comparative forms like good, better, bad, worse, and then getting used to the difference between one-syllable and two-syllable adjectives ending in Y as compared to bigger adjectives like expensive, three-syllable adjectives, and most other two-syllable adjectives. For one-syllable adjectives, you're just going to add ER. This is the easiest kind of comparative adjective. Just going to take the regular adjective, add ER, and then it becomes faster, fast, faster, old, older, etc. For a couple, when a one-syllable adjective ends in a consonant-vowel consonant, like big or hot, double the consonant on the end and then add ER. And then for one or two syllable adjectives ending in Y, two syllable adjectives more specifically, change the Y to an I and add ER, easy to easier, busy to busier, etc. Right, funny to funnier. And then you've got a couple, again, irregulars, which are maybe the most challenging part, memorizing good, better, bad, worse, fun, more fun, that's another irregular. And for other two-syllable adjectives, going to add more in front. We don't add the ER. So looking at the grammar patterns here, we've got one noun. Noun is comparative adjective than noun to. For example, I want to buy a Honda because it is more efficient than a Ferrari. Okay? So this first part of the sentence is not really essential to the unit grammar, but we use the pronoun here. What is it? It is a Honda. It is more efficient than. So we need that comparative adjective form. Efficient is a two-syllable or three-syllable or greater adjective, so we add more in front of it. We could also say less efficient, but when we're looking at these two things, a Honda and a Ferrari, the Honda is definitely more efficient, meaning it uses less gasoline per kilometer. And then our comparative form needs than, article, because Ferrari is countable. Bananas are sweeter than pomegranates. Here we have a regular comparative adjective, so we just add ER to the regular adjective. When we compare two things, we say comparative adjective than. Here are two nouns, right? They're plural, so we need are instead of is. I think the one on the left is prettier than the one on the right. I think this is just stating that's an opinion. The one on the left is our noun one. Here's our be verb. Prettier, that's our comparative adjective. Than, that's what we use to compare two things. And then the one on the right, that's our noun two. Sometimes we can leave the comparative adjective at the end of the sentence. Generally, this is language spoken in context, so maybe two friends are having discussion about where is the better pizza or which restaurant has the better pizza. And so this would be like a response or reply. Pizza from this restaurant is better. Better than what? Well, better than pizza from that restaurant. But it's implied because we somehow know the context, or we know what we're comparing. The train is more convenient. Again, two or more people are talking about which mode of transportation is more convenient, whether it's by road or air or train or whatever. And in this case, somebody says the train is more convenient. Right? Our comparative adjective, convenient, takes a more before because it is a two or more syllable adjective. English class is more fun. Right? English class is our noun. What's it more fun than? I don't know. I guess that would be opinion. It's more fun than math or biology, from what I've heard from some people. To make a question, we're just going to put that be verb in the beginning. Is noun one, comparative adjective than noun two. Is David smarter than Jason? Is the new PlayStation better than the new Nintendo? Is your Dodge faster than my Ford? Of course, these are yes-no questions, which could be followed up by some information, but the direct answer is yes-no. Excuse me. Which noun is comparative adjective? So which camera is less expensive? And again, this is language in context. It would have to be established that we're talking about two or more different cameras, and we're asking which one among the many is less expensive. Expensive has more than two syllables, so we're going to add more or less in front of it. In this case, we want to know which camera is cheaper. Which car is safer? Again, we're comparing two things or maybe even more more than two things in some kind of context, we know that we're talking about more than one car. Which one is safer? So again, comparative adjectives, pretty simple. The most challenging thing is just going to be memorizing these different comparative or irregular comparative adjectives, and then getting used to changing that Y to an I before adding ER, noticing the consonant-vowel-consonant structure of these short words, and then doubling that consonant on the end before adding ER. Don't forget to put than, and then for comprehension, don't forget that you're going to need to know sometimes whether you should put more or less. You should know that a Honda is more efficient than a Ferrari, and that a Ferrari would be more expensive than a Honda, not less expensive, things like that.